Hello to all of our listeners, and welcome back to The Parent Solution, your one-stop shop for all things educational. I'm your host, Kimberly, and today I'm talking about the benefits of teaching your child how to say no from an early age. That might sound crazy, but most children learn how to say the actual word very early on. It's typically within the first 10 or 20 vocabulary words. Teaching your child the meaning behind the word no and when they can and should use it effectively is something that I think is very important to talk about. Now, as a parent or a caregiver or a teacher, the child or the children in your care, they're looking to you to teach them the life lessons that they're going to need to be successful. And one of the greatest lessons that you can teach a child is how to say no. It's a simple and a powerful word, but it can help your child develop a positive sense of self, as well as an understanding of how to accurately read into situations that they're going to face as an adult or a young adult. If we're going to chat about saying no, we do need to talk about setting personal boundaries and the benefits of setting personal boundaries. It's my opinion that setting personal boundaries is an art form. Being able to say no and stick to it, it does take a lot of guts. You have to be able to figure out what's being asked of you and weigh it against the time and the effort it's going to take or it's going to take from you in order to accomplish what's being requested. Is it worth it? If not, you're supposed to say no and stick to it. It's absolutely critical to teach this essential art form to your child for the following reasons. There's 4 of them. So number 1 is safety. If a child has a hard time saying no, they may find themselves in a situation where they feel uncomfortable or they feel scared, but pressure to say yes overwhelms their common sense. Being able to say no is going to help this child focus on making smart choices based on the safety of the situation. Number 2 is confidence. Learning to say no to both other children and adults is going to help a child understand that their words should be acknowledged. They're going to learn that they have rights as well and deserve to be respected for their decisions. Number 3 is assertiveness. Learning how to say no helps to teach children to be assertive. There is a way to refuse without being rude, and there is a way to accept without being a pushover. Number 4 is self-awareness. Learning to say no will help a child work through the process of reasoning why they should refuse a suggestion based on the environment, the behavior of the person asking, or their own feeling of safety, or in some cases, their sense of morality. There are certain situations that call for a hard no, or what we might term a hard pass, while other situations may require some reasoning in order to reach the best outcome. So as the parent or the caregiver or the teacher, the idea is for you to talk your child through the process of deciding when no needs to be a line in the sand or a line in the concrete. For example, if a child is not comfortable with hugging, let's say, a distant family member, it's not for the parent to force them into a yes when their body language is clearly no. If the parent learns to respect their child's needs and feelings, they're also going to be able to hold a conversation to find out why the child is uncomfortable and build that trust that the child needs. It's crucial, it's absolutely essential that a child learns to reflect on why they feel a certain way and decide whether that feeling is fleeting or whether it is reasonably based. This goes for everything, not just for personal boundaries and saying no. If the reason behind saying no is sound, then it's the parent's responsibility to support their decision. If the child does not learn the benefits of saying no and does not learn how to reason why they should say no in certain situations, then saying no is going to be a challenge. And this child is going to find it difficult to set personal boundaries, even if a situation is unsafe. Now, there are some things to watch out for with teaching your child how to say no, as I'm sure parents have discovered. Being able to teach a child to say no, it requires patience and observation, of course, because it's easy for the power of no to become something that your child takes advantage of. So you want to be careful of these 3 things. Number 1 is confidence versus arrogance. Confidence is when a child has a healthy sense of their rights and they understand that they're valued as a human. Arrogance is when a child thinks that they are more valuable than any other human and that their rights supersede everyone else's. Number 2, self-awareness versus self-centeredness. Now, self-awareness is when a child has a sound understanding of how to reflect on what they're feeling and why they're feeling that way. They also may have a good sense of who they are and how their reaction will affect the environment that they are in. Self-centeredness is when a child focuses on what they are feeling, but does not reflect on why they are feeling that way. And they believe that the environment centers around them and their needs, and they don't contemplate or consider the effect of their actions on other people. Number 3, this is the last thing to watch out for: being assertive versus being rude. A child who is assertive can speak directly with the positive intention of setting healthy personal boundaries or refusing a request that is unsafe or devaluing or what they deem to be immoral. Now, this child can obviously both display confident body language and offer respectful dialogue while not backing down from their decision to say no. A child who is rude can also speak directly, but they're going to have an addition of bitterness and anger, potentially pride or pain, that's all going to come in the form of a bad attitude. This attitude may be on display only in the body language or only in the dialogue, or it may be in both. They will not back down from saying no, but they're going to do it in a way that's disrespectful to the person they're speaking to, and that's a problem. So in all of this, it is important to remember that the child in your care must learn to respect people. However, that respect cannot be offered at the expense of self-sacrifice. The process of teaching your child how to say no is a crucial life lesson, and it's a powerful knowledge that your child will need to build on as they grow into adulthood. If you have any comments or questions, either about this issue or others that have come up for you, you can always find me on social media. It's Star Students on Facebook and LinkedIn, or starstudents.learning on Instagram. You can also reach out through email, which is all over social media channels. Thank you, as always, so much for listening, and I'll be back next week.